you can spend thousands and thousands of pounds attracting patients, but there's nothing better than getting referrals from delighted, happy clients who recommend their friends and just, say to them, you've got to go and visit this dentist. She or he's such a nice people, and they do great dentistry.
Ashley, thank you so much for coming on this interview with me today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for asking me again.
Brilliant. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, good. It's 10 to 10 in Manchester, and it's there's some blue sky and it's not raining. So you have to be good at the moment when it's like this. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, no, all good. Thank you. Really good.
Fantastic. No, that's really good. So yeah, we'll just go straight into it, Ashley. So one of the things that you normally talk about is the two dentists that came on your course, and obviously how you went into working with dentists and that sort of thing. Tell me, what was it about those two dentists that made you decide to start working with more dentists?
Yeah, good question. I think for the reason being is that we've never really, this is going back now 24, 25 years ago then. So at that time, I'd never, ever worked with dentists before. And I was really intrigued on how they would have used my material and the benefits they've gained from the courses. So it was more of being intrigued and hoping that my program would have worked and would have made a difference to their consultations at the time. So they came on board and told me the challenges that they were having, things such as, they often would talk too technical to patients. They would not be able to get patients sort of over the line, agreeing to the treatment plans. They weren't very good at discussing the fees. So often they would discount. So I was just really intrigued on seeing if my course works, but B, if I can offer more value on a call with them to really help their practice. So I had no other remit, just to make sure that my course worked, and that was the main reason why I decided to follow them up. It was just really out of curiosity, really, just making sure that the course worked.
Fantastic. And I'll take you back a little. I'm just kind of going back and forth, but if I take you back a little bit, what made you actually start doing these courses on your own, or even go into business on your own, providing this service?
Is it with dentists or just doing it?
Just in general.
In general.
Yeah, going back.
Well, I used to work for we used to work for a finance company in Manchester, and I think probably near the end of my career there, I just didn't enjoy it that much, really, and I wanted to do something different. I was involved in a leadership course at the time with an organization called the Dale Carnegie Training, and I really enjoyed it. And I came back to help out as a leader, and then as a coach on the program. So I used to, probably for a whole year or so, one evening a week, I would go to these classes and help out. And so I sort of really had an ambition one day. I've been able to deliver these courses, but to get my foot on the ladder, really, I really wanted to get back into sales. I'd always had a sales job all my life, but the last couple of years of the finance company, I wasn't involved in sales anymore. I was more involved in the collection side, and I just didn't enjoy it. So I got very, very friendly with a guy at Dale Carnegie. He was a very good looking guy. He's very smart. He used to have lovely suits on and drove a Porsche. And I got very friendly with Andy. And he told me one day that there was a job available, and would I be interested in coming for an interview to help promote and sell courses in the the Trafford Park and Salford area. So I went for the interview, and I went through various, meeting different people, recruitment companies, taking some various tests, and they accepted me. So I left my job in finance, where I had a very good package. I drove a BMW, and the next minute I was walking around the streets of Salford and Trafford Park, knocking on doors, selling American training courses on commission only. So it was a bit of a complete change in career, but also a complete change in circumstances. Because in my first year at Carnegie, I think I earned about £6,000 in commission selling courses, whereas my previous wages the year before, my salary was about £26,000. So it was a big change for me. But that's how really I got involved, mainly selling the courses. And then after about 3 years, when I finally got my sales correct, and I started doing fairly well, I was fairly successful at it, I then trained to become an instructor. So my initial training was the Dale Carnegie course. To deliver this, it was an evening program, one session a week. It was like a public speaking course. So I initially trained to deliver that program, and then about once I'd passed my test and I was delivering those courses, about 18 months later, I went to the States to a Dale Carnegie conference in Florida. And they launched this sales course. I think it was called the Sales Advantage at the time. It was a brand new sales training course. And at the end of the conference, there was a 3-day training program where if you went through these 3 days, there's a possibility that you could go back to your own area and deliver these courses, the Sales Advantage course. It was a funny story. I'll tell you the story because I was... this conference, I was there for a week, and the idea was the conference was for 4 days, and my last 3 days was just sitting around the pool enjoying the sun. Because when you live in Manchester, any opportunity to get some sun was a bonus. And I only found out at the last day of the conference that they were doing this training for this relaunch of this course, and I abandoned my sunbed round the swimming pool to take part 3 days and 3 nights on this course. And those 3 days and 3 nights were just absolutely, truly amazing. And I got a bug for the sales course, the Sales Advantage. And I came back to Salford and Trafford Park, my area at the time. That's where I operated. And I launched this program, and I knocked on all the clients that I'd done work with on my leadership courses and told them I've got this now sales program. And I started delivering these sales training courses. And then the rest is really history. They just took off in Manchester. We were, if there was I can't remember now at the time, but if there was about 300 franchisees in the world, I think we were number 3 or 4 of the number of delegates that were going through these courses, the sales courses in Manchester. I was delivering sales training courses virtually every night of the week for a whole year. And I just loved it. I just got the bug, and I loved delivering sales training courses. It was my passion. And what was beauty about it was you delivered the program in the evening, and then the next day you'd go and visit clients, and you'd use everything that you learned the night before. You'd use with clients. And often clients would say to me, "God, can you get my salespeople to do what you're doing?" And I would say, "Well, look, just get them on my course, and I'll teach them how to do it." And that's I used to walk the talk. So that's how I sort of got involved delivering training courses. And we were, in Manchester, this is Trafford Park and Salford at the time. And if for people who don't know that area, it is, I think, one of them, or used to be one, maybe not anymore, one of the biggest industrial estates in Europe. And we were doing more sales training courses than countries around the world within the Dale Carnegie operation. So, and due to my success with the sales training course, they asked me, Dale Carnegie and Associates asked me if I would be a international master trainer. And I said, yes. I went through that training. So then I went around the world training trainers to become trainers. So near the end, I had 4 roles within Carnegie. I was in sales. I delivered the sales training course. I would deliver international master training, and then I would also help them write the materials for the manuals and the books as well. So so that's how the long-winded answer to a very short question, but that's how I got involved delivering courses and getting involved in the business training.
Okay, you've come across to me as a very confident person, and even delivering courses and all that sort of thing. It takes a lot to be able to do. Have you always been like that, or is it something that developed over time?
Yeah. Trust me, I wish I had the confidence now than I was when I was 18 to 25, because I was pretty awful at chatting up ladies and girls in nightclubs and bars. So not at all. I mean, it's just I've worked at it. It's just self-taught, Chiko. As soon as I took the Dale Carnegie course and I joined the organization, I was involved in their courses, 1 or 2 nights a week for years and years. The training that Dale Carnegie gave you is truly out of this world, really. To become an instructor, you have to go through something like 500 to 600 hours of unpaid training. So, and even today, I try and fit in about an hour's worth of development every day. I walk the dogs first thing in the morning. That's my first job. And I listen to programs to develop myself. This morning, even in the rain this morning, I was listening to some business training, and I try and read a book a month. I'll be on holiday next week, and I'll take 6, 7 books with me. So it's just things I continually do to develop myself. It's a mission for me. So no, it's true. Trust me when I say this. I'm just a working class kid from a guy from North Manchester that's just worked his socks off to get where he is. Nothing has come in easy, and when I've gone outside my comfort zone, things have happened. So I try and do something each day that's uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But
And is this sorry, go on, actually.
no, I'm just saying, trust me, no one's come along and put a magic wand on it. It really is all just developing myself, and I try and do something virtually every day.
Yeah, brilliant. And do you find that a lot of the dentists that you work with, do you find that they have any confidence issues? Do you think that might be one of the reasons that they're not able to do some of the things that they don't do until obviously after coming on your course?
I mean, a big thing for them is confidence, and the skills that we teach them, things such as communication skills, discussing fees. They don't get taught this at university. They get taught all the technical skills, but they don't get taught how to communicate what they do really effectively with their patients. Somebody, I don't know how many hours they actually get of communication training. I think it's a session or maybe a couple of sessions, but they don't really get taught the actual verbal skills, and that's what we do really well. We can develop the verbal skills with them, but we can also develop their self-confidence. And when you get the two together and the mindset, then amazing things happen. And that's what what we can bring to the table. But I think everybody, lacks confidence in certain areas. I'd be lying to say that I'm confident in all sorts of situations. There's sometimes I'm not. So but you just got to keep working at it.
Okay, and you mentioned mindset. Uh, Talk to me a bit about that. What do you mean when you say mindset? What is a good mindset for dentists or any other person to have?
Well, to me, I think your mindset and your attitude are the most important things really that you have to work on. And like I said, I have to work on it every single day. I can wake up in the morning and you have a choice. You can go and watch the BBC One News, and you can learn all about what the latest COVID situation is, how many people are dying from it, how many people are getting it. You can learn about the impact it's having on the economy. You can do that for 30 minutes in the morning, or you can listen to something positive. There's no shortage of things you can go and learn online, and you can learn something that's going to make you more positive. You can learn a business idea by just a new concept by just walking around the dogs. Like I said, I can come up with an idea. Often I will walk the dogs and lose myself for an hour or so, and come back with at least one really good idea. So you sort of really have a choice, and I think mindset is really important. If you watch the news for 30 minutes in the morning, then it's going to impact your attitude. You're going to think smaller. You're going to have a negative mindset. You'll be worried about all the things that are going on. Or you can, like I said, you have a choice. You can read a book for 30 minutes, something positive, or listen to something on the way to work. And that can make all the difference between having a really good day or a really lousy day. So I think how you start the day is really important. And if you start the day well, I believe, then especially when you live in the UK and the north of England, when you wake up and it's often cold, wet and dark in the winter at this moment in time. So you really have to work at it, and it's something I try and do every single day. Think about the positives, all the things that are going well, and think about, so like I said, I try and win the day first thing in the morning at 6:30. I try and win the day, and I really believe the day is won by what you do first thing in the morning. Not sure if that answers your question, but I think mindset's really important, really important.
And actually, imagine, right? You sat with a dentist, right? And just imagine that they're about to go into the biggest opportunity of their life with a patient. It's the perfect patient for them, perfect case. They're about to go into this, and they've literally got about 5 seconds with you before they go into this, and never been on your course. They don't know about sales and marketing or anything like that. What's the one thing you would tell them in those 5 seconds?
Just to become genuinely interested in the patient, build rapport, and ask lots and lots of questions. And that's the piece of advice I would have, is just have a burning desire to be genuinely interested in that patient. I was delivering a course the other week, and somebody said something quite profound to me. It was a treatment. It was actually a treatment coordinator who worked with a dentist, and she had a target of so much income or cases she had to achieve within a month. And the dentist was talking about his targets as well. And so the mindset they have is that when they see a patient, and this is for, say, Invisalign treatment, I think it was, that, how can they get the patient over the line there and then? And I just said, change your mindset. Just if you can find out what the patient's goals are, what the patient's vision is, and then show them how you can help them, your goals will be looked after. Your goals will be, you'll reach your targets. So you need to just change your mindset from one of how can I get this patient over the line to finding out what the patient's goals are and helping them achieve it. And if you can do that and have those conversations, I promise you that your targets will be well looked after. So that's my 5 seconds of advice. Just build rapport and just become genuinely interested and ask lots of questions.
Fantastic. And
it might take 6 seconds, but
might take a bit longer. But you talk a lot about being genuinely interested. So imagine if I was a dentist and I'm saying, but actually, so are you saying to me that I have to pretend? What if I really don't like that type of person? How do I get genuinely? How do I just shift my mindset to get interested in this person?
Well, Well, I'm not. I'll try and give you the answer to your question. It's, you're not going to build rapport with everybody. It's going to be impossible. There's some people who will come into your dental practice who just genuinely don't want to build rapport. It's impossible to build rapport with unfriendly people. And I've learned that myself. But just have a mindset of, if it just makes the day become so much more interesting when you learn about people and at the end of the day, we're in the people business, and about, if you add up how much time you are spending in communication with the patient, and you actually add up how much time you are spending actually delivering the dentistry, then you've got to become a people person. It's part of the job, because virtually 30, 40, maybe even 50% of the day is all about communication and how you interact with the patient. So it's a big part of the of your day. So you have to be interested in people. You have to be that people person, and I would say, don't fake it, just become genuine interested. And when you become genuinely interested in it, you build amazing relationships with people, and they become interested in what you've got to offer. So that's that's the advice I would have. When I deliver my courses, the first hour or so, I just want to find out what each person wants from the course, what their biggest challenge is. And I always write them up on the board. And when I do that, I know I can help them, and every time I deliver sections of the program, I can go back to the flip chart when they said, do you remember we talked about this morning at 9:10? Well, here's how we can help you. So it just makes your day so much more interesting, so much more fun, and you can really appreciate the impact you can have on people's lives. So if you just go in with that mindset that today I'm just going to be really interested in people, then I promise you will create so many opportunities. The biggest challenge you're going to have is fitting them all in to actually deliver the dentistry.
Fantastic, yeah. And what if someone else comes and says, well, Ashley, that doesn't sound like sales. That sounds like you're trying to make friends, and I'm not here to make friends. I want to build a business. I want to make money. What would you say to that person?
Well, what would I say to that person? Well, you're in the wrong business, because we're women. My business and your business we're in the relationship business. That's the business that we've chosen to be in. You can go and work in a factory and not speak to anybody all day if you want to do that. Not degrading factory, because I've worked in a factory myself. So, but we are in the people business. That's what we do. We are there to build relationships, and I'm personally proud of the fact that last week we had some people on our courses, and these were people that have done business with me over 20 years ago, and we're still doing business together because of the relationships. So if you really work hard on building relationships, your business will grow. They'll recommend their friends to you, and you'll have a truly successful business, because there's only the best form of way I know of growing your business is developing relationships. It's word of mouth. So I can't personally think of a better way of doing it. There's no, you can spend thousands and thousands of pounds attracting patients, but there's nothing better than getting referrals from delighted, happy clients who recommend their friends, and just say to them, you've got to go and visit this dentist. She or he's such a nice people, and they do great dentistry. So what better way of growing your business through referrals or patients who just stay with you for 20 years? And to be honest with you, as a business, me personally, as a training business, we've realized that if we do an amazing job for our clients, they want to stay with us and do more work with us, and do more courses and more training with us. So that's always been my philosophy, and always will be.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. And Ashley, from imagine I'm in this position now where I'm thinking, okay, I have a heart for people. I actually genuinely love people and I want to see them come through. But I have, maybe if I had this thing where I'm thinking I'm a dentist and I'm thinking, oh, but actually, I think, the treatments are expensive. What if, I tell them the prices and they think it's a bit too expensive? How can I deal with that?
Well, there's well, God, I could write a book on that answer alone and that question alone. Well, the first thing is if you think your fees are expensive, then I can tell you now you'll communicate it that way. And then the other thing you'll start to do is discount it in your head. So you'll make the prices cheaper, thinking that more patients will say yes. So which isn't which is not a great business strategy, to be honest, because you're giving away thousands and thousands of pounds a year. The best way I know of feeling really confident about your fees is to follow up with patients. Okay, so let me give you an example. So I'll give you an example in my business, and I'll give you an example for dentists as well. So if I follow up with a client on a course and they've taken a course with me, they came on the program originally because they wanted to improve their case acceptance. Maybe they're a National Health Service dentist and they've taken some technical courses and they haven't fulfilled their vision yet. And they come on their course and they tell me the results they've achieved. They've got more patients saying yes. They've made a significant return on their investment. They're enjoying dentistry. They love it. And they're sharing these successes. Then it makes me feel more comfortable about discussing my fees with my clients, because I can see firsthand the impact it has and the difference it's made, which is why it's really important that you try and get video testimonials or written testimonials from your clients telling you the results they've achieved for you, because that makes me feel more comfortable and confident when I'm discussing my fees with my clients. And that's the same with a dentist as well. I would really urge you to, if you're doing treatments, particularly cosmetic treatments, implant treatments, that type of thing, or even when you're getting your patients out of pain, is to follow up with them and ask them the impact that your treatment has had in their everyday lives. And they will tell you the impact they've had. They'll tell you the benefits. They'll tell you the difference it's made. Often can be life-changing. And then you'll see that out of the relationship, you will see that actually the client wins more than you. You get financially well paid, but actually, if you think about the two outcomes, the people that often win the most is the actual patient, because if you're straightening their teeth and making them whiter, all right, so they may invest £4,000 with you, but what you're giving them is significant confidence. They tell you about the difference it's made to their confidence, their communication, the sales, how they develop relationships with people. Well, all those benefits are priceless. You can't put a figure on them. So one way, I think, and there's many ways, but one way I urge dentists is to follow up with their patients and to have a conversation with them and let them share with you the impact that they've had on using your services. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And I think you'll feel a lot more comfortable and confident when you are discussing your fees with the next person that you hopefully want to do some business with. So I hope that's answered your question there. But I think following up is definitely a great strategy. Definitely works for me and makes me feel more confident. And I can share these successes with other clients,
Absolutely. And because one thing that I always say to dentists as well is that, at the end of the day, if someone's happy with the treatment that you're giving them, they're more than happy to talk about it. Even with video testimonials, a lot of dentists feel a bit like, oh, it's a bit too pushy, it's a bit too, but they're happy to share their experience with you because you've given them a great service type thing. That's why I normally think. And actually, you might have to correct me here, but one of your books is titled, is it You Are Worth It?
Yeah.
Yes. Tell me I just love that title, You Are Worth It. Tell me a bit about how you came up with that title.
Well, it's Mainly, I wrote the book because I can't remember how long it was. I bet it must be over 10 years ago now. But mainly, I wrote the book because I find that not all dentists, but many dentists, they've gone through university, and all of a sudden they've gone out of university with no very little communication training, and they've never been discussed. The next minute they've got to discuss fees. And they always find that bit challenging. They always, not like I said, not everyone, I am generalizing here, but a lot of dentists find that part challenging, and they discount a lot. And the discount mainly takes place in the head. It doesn't take place, they don't actually often, not only do they discount in the head, but they actually don't tell the patient that the discount's taken place. Only they know that it's taken place, or possibly the nurse as well. So they have a confidence issue about charging fees and discussing fees. And often they can be derailed. And often it's just by one patient who makes some sort of snark or some sort of comment, such as, am I paying for your car, or am I paying for your holiday? And often when they get these comments, and it can often be just 2 or 3 a year, even though they may have discussed fees a couple of thousand times, but often it impacts them, and they feel it affects their confidence, and they discount. And what I've done in the book is to work on the mindset to say that actually, you're worth it. You've invested 5, 6, maybe in some cases 7 years in education to become a dentist. You've got amazing skills. You've got a craft. You can change people's lives. You can get people out of pain. You can do amazing things with people that very few people in the UK, in the world, can do. And you've spent years developing this craft. And the point I try and get across to them is in the book is to say, you're worth it. Charge the correct fee. Don't discount, and charge for the services that your skills deserve. And that's the point I try and make in the book. It's really all down to working on your mindset. I can get dentists to have a script and feel more comfortable about discussing the fees, but I think it all starts off with what goes on between the ears. And I write in the book, I wrote about the importance of, you've developed these skills, you've spent years developing them, you've probably spent thousands of pounds, and you're probably thousands of pounds in debt, developing these skills. Please make sure, you are worth it, and make sure you charge appropriately for the services that you provide. So that's hence why I wrote the book and why I came up with the title. I think I came up with the title, Walking Up a Mountain Somewhere in the Lake District, and which is often where I get most of my ideas, on walking with the dogs, or walking up a mountain, or cycling. And I just wrote it down, and I loved it, and that's why we wrote the book. Yeah, you are worth it. How to discuss fees with confidence and achieve the income that your services deserve. So and people tell us it's a great book. So we're very proud of it.
Fantastic. Yeah, I absolutely love that title, because a lot of the time people don't feel like they're worth it. They don't feel like they're worth that amount and that sort of thing. And on that point, you talked about, obviously, you do a lot of cycling. You look after yourself, as much as you're crazy busy, courses all the time, that sort of thing. And I feel like a lot of dentists are in this, but especially at the moment with everything going on, dentists are incredibly busy. What advice would you give to them about just looking after themselves as well? It's taking time to stop and, do things that they love, spend time with people that they love.
Well, I work every week, 60, often 7, with traveling as well. I can often do a 70-hour week. So it's if you're in a hotel 3 nights a week and you're out with clients as well, it's very easy not to do anything. It's you've got the perfect excuse. So it's for me, keeping fit and is for me, it's a 10 out of 10. I have to do something virtually every single day. So I pencil in the day. I treat it as if it was I make an appointment. The best thing I do is I put times in the diary, and I make an appointment with myself to look after myself, to keep fit. So, every morning I walk the dogs when I'm at home, and then I might, depending on the weather, but if the weather's okay, which I think today might be, I'll try and get out I won't try. I will get out on my bike for an hour and a half or so this afternoon. I'll have a shower and I'll come back to work, because for me, it's a 10 out of 10. It's really important. So I'll go out this afternoon, probably between 2 and 3:30, and get out on my bike and do that. Often, if the weather's really bad, as it's been this week with heavy winds and it's just been impossible to get out, then I've turned my training centre into a little circuit. So I might do 30 minutes, just a bit of boxing, a bit of rowing. But for me, it's I'll be lying to say I really enjoy doing it all the time. It's not, but for me, it's a 10 out of 10. It's really important that I feel better, I sleep better, I eat better when I train, and when I don't do it, I feel I just don't feel the same. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10. So you need to decide if training and keeping fit is a 10 out of 10. Then the best thing to do is make time in the day when you're going to do your exercise. If it's only half an hour, which in most cases sometimes it is with me, then I'll make half an hour. But it has to be important for you. If it is really important, you will make the time to do it. So it has to be a 9 or a 10 out of 10. I often see people smoking, and I often say to them, would you like to give up? And they always say yes. And I say, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1, you're not bothered, 10, it's serious. How are you? And they say, well, yeah, I'm a 7 or an 8. Yeah. I say, well, you'll never give up, because it's not that important enough. You need to have a strong reason to give up. And you have to have a strong reason as well to keep fit. And for me, at my age, it's crucial. It's really important. So I always make time for it. It's for me, it's a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's, because I think that's another thing. I think even to becoming the clinicians that, dentists want to be and that sort of thing, it's good that your body is working well, your mind's working well, everything's working such that you can produce the results you want to produce. One of the things I also want to ask, Ashley, obviously coming on your course is a no-brainer. Like any dentist, that wants to develop their skills, wants to do more of the kind of treatments that they, that they want to be doing, needs to come on your course. But before people can even come on your course, based on your course, what are some of the things that they can start doing today, before they come on your course, that can help them move a bit further in what they're trying to do?
Well, again, I'm generalizing, but I'll be lying to say, when I come into my office each morning, there's a queue of people outside ready to sign up for my programs. It's not the case. So a lot of dentists, and again, I'm generalizing, are, analyzers and researchers. So they don't tend to make decisions that quick. So it really is all about building the relationship with the clients beforehand. So we often, if people hear me speak, or they can join my newsletter list, we send out a newsletter every week. I have done now for about 25 years. And it's either a newsletter, which is full of tips or ideas, or it can be a video, a lunch and learn video. So today we're recording probably about 50 videos, which we'll use next year. So there's those things. They can buy the books. My 2 books that I've written, Don't Wait for the Tooth Fairy, and the other book is You Are Worth It, how to discuss fees with confidence. You can buy those 2 books, and we'll send you some videos. You can listen to the podcasts. We've got 2 Reds Are Better Than One, which we interview very successful dentists, or often people from outside dentistry. Or you can go to my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel and type in Ashley Latter, we've probably got well over 100 videos there where you can, where I'm sharing ideas and strategies. So we have many different ways of building relationships and giving people strategies and free stuff. And then hopefully one day when they're ready to join the course, they can give us a call and join one of them. So that there's many different ways, and we have the online programs now. So I've went to Wales about 3 years ago and recorded several online courses. So dentists, if they're not quite yet ready to jump on the courses, they can learn at home or in the car or in the gym by using our online facilities as well. So I have actually have a call this evening with some dentists from New Zealand who have been taking my online courses, and we're doing we're having a coaching call this evening. So that should be fun. That's great. I get really buzzed up when we work with people internationally.
Fantastic. And actually, where can people you've mentioned a few places, but what is the most direct way to just get through to you if someone says, you know what, I actually want to go on one of these courses? And even just before you say that, like, I say your course is a no-brainer, and I just don't say that because, you know, I know I've been on the course and it was absolutely fantastic. It was a needle mover for me, and I'm not even a dentist,
Thank
and
you.
you know, for the other dentists in the room as well, I could see that it was absolutely eye-opening. Went away, you know, a lot of things changed. Even I know we did a call after the course I think it was a few months later or something, and you could hear from what people were saying, absolutely amazing. So if someone says, I want to actually go on your course, you know, the next course available, how can they do that?
Yeah, you can just contact us. We have a telephone. You can contact us by the old-fashioned way, which is telephone 0161 724 8728. You can drop us an email, Ashley at thesellingcoach.com, or my business manager, Lisa, which is Lisa at thesellingcoach.com, which is 2 S's. She's Italian. The third way is you can go to our website and contact us through the contact form, and you can do that. If you go to ashleylatter.com, that's LATTER.com, Ashley spelt Ash, Ley, then you can contact us that way through our contact form. So there's various ways you can contact us: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we do nowadays. So we're not shortage. When I first started in the business, it was knocking on people's doors or ringing them up. And then the fax came, and that we all thought the fax was a game changer. But now, if you think about it, there's so many different ways how to contact people. It's a great way it's a great time to be in the marketing world. You know, there's all the social media, and you can still pick up the phone as well.
Fantastic. Ashley, thank you very much for coming on doing this. Hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon. I can ask you all the other questions.
Thank you, Chiko. You're a great interviewer. Honestly, I've done this many times every year, and you do ask some really good questions. You make me think. So so I'm hopefully I've added some real value today. Well, hopefully we have.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Ashley.